Going now. Mike. We're going now. Mike. We're going now. Go. Today on GameSocket. Go. Mike, we're going right now. We're going now. Today on GameSocket. Today on GameSocket. And the Genesis Mini. Mike, go! Yeah, he's breathing, I think. Dominic, come on over. I don't know. Mike, this is bound to happen. Mike. I think we should just let him sleep it off. Why are you putting that?
Because it doesn't want people to see that, Brian.
Okay, whatever. Just leave him. He's gonna be fine. I'm sure this happens to him all the time, I bet. So probably just sleep it off. So what were you guys even doing? Let's have an episode. It's on the schedule. You guys not even look at that? You guys are just here having a party. And Mike's getting wasted. Right before an episode. Were we just supposed to do it without him? Is that what you guys were thinking the whole time? We're just gonna roll with it. Hey guys, welcome to GameSocket. I'm your guest host. I'm Brian. I'm really sorry, guys. This is not normally how we. I guess it actually kind of has become how we normally start things, but as you guys can see, Mike is a little out of it here. He's incapacitated. Me and Dom actually just showed up to shoot today's episode, and this is what we walked in on. Krisko and Mike, I guess, have had, just a swell time before we got here. And nothing was set up, nothing was good to go, and Mike is obviously not in no condition to host. But, I'm going to try to keep a positive attitude because that's who I am. That's what I do. Me and Dom are still here. We're here for the fans. We come here for the fans. We're here to film for the fans. If the host of the GameSocket show is not able to do that, I'll let you guys make judgment on what that means. But me and Dom are here. We're gonna film an episode today because the show must go on. I apologize for the eye patch. I did get pink eye. I believe it's from Marlson vaping, my roommate. The smoke just sticks to everything, and he says it's not. So he says it's clean, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's causing an allergic reaction. So I'm still here at 100%, unlike some of our other coworkers. I guess this is a great time to talk about something that I've been planning for a little while, thinking about a while, and I've talked to Dominic a little bit about this, but obviously something needs to happen. Things are not getting better on GameSocket, specifically in relation to its host and owner of the show.
Today on GameSocket.
You all right, Mike? You here? Did you hear any? Did you hear any of that? Mike? Dom? No, he's going back to sleep. Okay. So sorry. What I was getting at was we need to trigger some kind of change here, and I think the best way to do that is.
We're going to do video games.
I think the best way to do that is to house or host some kind of intervention for Mike. Obviously, he needs to make a change in his life. This sickness of his is not only affecting GameSocket, which is very important, but I've seen what happens off camera, guys. What his day-to-day life consists of, and it's no better than what you're seeing right now. So I've actually started the beginning stages of getting an intervention together. I've reached out to his friends and his family, sent out some invites, but because the way he is, we haven't gotten a lot of responses from those people. Not a lot of people are interested in helping Mike, unfortunately. I can't say that I am super interested in helping Mike either, but he is the controlling force of the show, and as long as he is the controlling force of the show, I have to navigate around him and work around him, and it would be a lot easier if he was sober. So we're still working on that. Just keep an ear out. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we can get that intervention going. And Dominic, you can kind of come on over if you want, and you can actually kind of co-host this episode with me if you want. Since Mike is out of it, we don't have a chair for you, but if you just kind of want to stand right here and you can kind of be the guest host.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
No problem. Thanks for coming, Dominic. I appreciate you being here. The fans appreciate you being here and being on time and being sober when you show up. That's difficult for some people. Oh, thanks, Dominic. You gotta be careful because I can't.
Thank you, Brian.
No problem. You gotta be careful because I can't see it coming at me here with this eye problem. And actually, let me just grab you up, Mike. You can just use Mike's mic there, so you don't have to bend over and kind of get into my personal space here.
Thanks, Brian.
And yeah, so we'll get that intervention scheduled. I know I can count on at least you being there, Dominic, and coming to that intervention once it's ready to go.
I'm still not entirely sure what's going on with that.
Okay, well, Dominic, an intervention is when people get together to show that they not necessarily care about someone, but that they are worried about someone because they have a problem. In Mike's case, it would be like, it's obvious what his issue is. So we'd be just kind of be talking about that. And
I'm still not sure what his actual issue is.
Well, Dominic, his issue is that he's got a really bad alcohol problem. Like he is wasted, blackout drunk right now, passed out. There's been a couple episodes where he's been really buzzed on screen. You see the cans and the bottles everywhere. Like that's not a normal thing for.
Is this like your connects?
No, connects aren't like that's a totally different thing. Connects are like a hobby. This is more.
You have connects everywhere.
Yeah.
And you lose hours on end playing with them sometimes.
Right, but that's a hobby, and it's not detrimental to my friends and family, and it's not causing my work to be negatively impacted.
I just want you to know that I care, Brian.
I appreciate that, Dom, and I know that you are a very caring person, and that's why we're glad that you're here to help out, and we'll talk more in the intervention, and Mike will kind of hopefully understand what's going on.
Thank you, Brian.
No problem, Dominic. What's that? Krisko? Okay. Yeah, I know that you're not in favor of it, Krisko, but yeah, Krisko, you and I will talk about this off air. This is an offline discussion that I know you're not in big favor of the intervention, but we'll talk about it. Other things going on, guys. Real quickly, I wanted to apologize for our live episode. There was a mishap where we hit the button, where I hit the button to start the stream too soon, and you guys saw a lot of stuff we did not intend for you to see. A lot of discussions that were supposed to be private discussions. We are sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. I'll take responsibility for that mistake. I heard what Mike said about me. All I'm going to say is just don't be worried about it. I heard what Mike said. I learned a little bit more about Mike, who he is as a person. And I have a contingency plan. Dominic and I have a contingency plan. Right, Dominic? You and I have that discussion. So we're not worried. That's all I'll say with that. Other news here on the outline. Dominic, you put on here that you got a car. Is that true?
Yes, I got a new car.
Well, that's awesome. I've been kind of car shopping myself, but haven't been able to get that to happen. What kind of car is it? How'd you get it?
Well, I got the car. My uncle Rudy, he's been missing for 12 days. So
Oh my God.
my mom inherited the car and she gave it to me, but she said that I wasn't allowed to drive anyone inside of it, only myself. And so I was driving around one day, but then I started to get pulled over by the cops and I was scared. So I started trying to drive away. And I think at one point there was at least 32 cop cars chasing me. It actually turns out that my uncle Rudy was dead and they were blaming me for it. So I ended up going to jail and I was in there for 3 hours. But then I guess something happened. I don't know if I could say this part.
Go ahead. I mean, what
Then a
happened?
bunch of us broke out and I didn't know who to call. So I called Mike and Mike came and picked me up.
Uh-huh.
And then he ended up buying me a new car.
That is a really crazy, outrageous story. That really all happened? Or are you kind of pulling our leg here?
No,
Wow. So your uncle, wow. Okay. We may have to do a whole separate podcast just to talk about that story, Dominic, because you've had some really wild things happen to you the past couple of weeks. And
I mean, it's just a friend bought me a car. It's not that crazy.
yeah. Well, congratulations. That's great news. I might have to hit you up for a ride occasionally if you're in my neck of the woods out there. One thing I want to do this episode, you guys, is another. I did it last time when I was kind of the only one here. Was call-ins, live call-ins. You can call us on air. We'll answer your call. We'll take your questions, whatever you guys want to talk about. Krisko, can you put the number on the screen for us here? And it's here now. It's 816-200-117. I think that's a 2. And you can give us a call, and we'll talk to you live on air. So let's go to our first segment this week. It's what have you been playing since the last episode, the last non-live episode, and was it worth playing? Okay, Krisko, that's the wrong bumper. That's the wrong graphic. Could you play the one for what have you been playing since the last live episode? Or the last not live episode? Dominic, can you show him where it's at in the file structure there? He's clicking the wrong thing. He's playing the wrong thing over and over, and I don't know why. Krisko!
It's this one. Play this one.
Yes, that one. Play it. No, you gotta play it with the audio on. Play it again, but with the audio. Check the audio checkbox. Oh, Dominic, you can come back over because I think you wrote some notes in here about games you've been playing. Guys, I've actually been playing a lot of the Tomb Raider games. Now, these are a little bit, not a lot of people talk about them anymore, but they still make them, I guess. I've been going through the old ones from the 90s all the way up to the more recent remakes. I gotta say, the 90s ones still hold up quite a bit. I really like, that Laura that they have in those games. Playing the newer ones, I mean, those games are still okay. There's some changes that they made, though, to the Laura character that I can't stay behind. Specifically, her personality's fine, but her figure, her body, obviously they made her bust smaller, which is not at all in line with what Tomb Raider is, right? That's kind of the whole reason that game existed. Her clothing is not the same. It's a little bit more conservative, I guess you could say. So, the old game's great. The new games, not so much. And Krisko, you've got those graphics that I made that you can kind of show the differences between old Laura and new Laura. They're not great. There is a new Tomb Raider movie. I actually found the novelization of the most recent movie, and I've been reading that, and it's actually a pretty good book. There's not... I guess the good part of it is it lets you leave kind of what Laura looks like to your imagination, so you can make her look however you want in your own mind with the book. So I definitely recommend the novelization of the Tomb Raider movie book. Dominic, it says here you've been playing Vectorman. Is that right?
Yes, thank you, Brian. I tried it since you recommended it, but I didn't really like it that much.
Okay. Any reasons why? Do you want to elaborate at all
I didn't like the color scheme they chose for Vectorman, and I don't really agree with the name Vectorman.
Okay, so you're not a fan of green, I guess, because that's Vectorman he's green.
I did make my own board game called Victorman, and I played that.
Oh, really? You made your own board game? I didn't know you did that.
Yeah,
We're always learning like crazy stuff about Dominic on this show. So sorry, go ahead.
So my Victorman board game is a game made for 2 people. Since I didn't like the green, I painted him red because I like the color red a lot better. And then I named it Victorman after my best friend Victor from kindergarten through 1st grade. He was my next door neighbor and my best friend.
Really?
But then he had to move away partway through the year because his dad was a secret FBI agent, and they're always moving him around. But then when I knocked on the door one day after they had moved, Victor was still there. But then he actually told me the story of how he's not the real Victor. There's actually the government has placed him there. They made a clone of Victor. That way they wouldn't know where the real Victor and his family are. So then I didn't have any friends after that.
Okay. Another really crazy situation from Dominic. Well, you'll have to bring in your game sometime. That'd be cool. Maybe we could play that on air. You said it was for 2 players. So
probably just if I ever find the real Victor.
Have you played anything else, Dominic? Anything else you want to talk about in this segment?
No.
Okay. Well, I can't believe we have not gotten a live call yet. Krisko, are you sure those lines are open? No, have you actually? No, you've got to. Let me just double check and make sure. Dom, just hang out here. I will be right back. No, they're on. Okay. I guess we just haven't gotten a call yet. But, you guys, if you want to give us a call, that number is always on your screen there. So please give us a call, and we'll talk about whatever you want. Coming up next is a special segment. I've been working on this for a while here. This is Game Socket on the Road. All right, you guys, this is Game Socket on the Road. This is a new segment for us.
I thought this was GSB does Blizz.
GSB does Blizz.
Game Socket Brian does Blizz.
Does Blizz. Okay, I guess we could go with that if you want to name it that. I didn't realize you had a preference on this one, Dominic. GSB does Blizz. Yeah, I guess we can call it that if you want. I like that. Krisko, if you want to do something today, maybe you can, if you want to do something, rather than just stand there, if you want to update that graphic so it says Dominic's name, GSB does Blizz. Go for it. So you guys, I went on a little bit of a road trip and brought back some footage for you guys. I went to the annual BlizzCon convention. This is the Blizzard game company's annual convention in Anaheim, California. I was actually really last minute assigned to this project. Mike had planned on going himself and then got cold feet. I don't know if it was the fact that it was in California, a state where he's had past legal problems or what, but he asked me to do it like 2 days ahead of time. He did not have a media pass, so I had to pay for the pass out of my own funds, but I was able to sell some of my Kinect sets and kind of crowdfund that on my own. So I spent a couple days out in Anaheim, and I took some footage for you guys to see what this convention is, what it's all about. So, Krisko, let's play the GSB Does Blizz segment.
I'm sorry, Earth is closed today. You better pack it
No,
up and get
Krisko,
out
stop.
of here.
Stop.
Stand to
This
your
is the third time you've played the Avengers when we ask you to play something. That's not a mistake now. This is something you're doing just to piss us off.
At least it's a good movie, right?
It doesn't matter. That's a good thought, Dominic. It doesn't matter that it's a good movie. It's not something we have the rights to play. Krisko,
could you buy the rights to the movie?
Dominic, Krisko can't afford that. Even with Mike paying him as much as he is. So Krisko, can you find the right file? It's not called GSB Does Blizz because we just changed the name of it. So you're not gonna. We just changed the name of it. Are you not listening to me? So it's going to be on its old name. It's Game Socket on the Road. Look for that file. I'm not yelling. I'm just irritated that you played the Avengers 3 times in 3 separate episodes. Like, that's not a mistake. That's something you're doing just to troll us. Yes, play it. With audio. Thank you. Hey Socketeers, this is Brian from GameSocket, and I am here in Anaheim, California for the annual Blizzcon convention. Now, as you guys know, this is mainly a video game convention, but there's so much more to it than that. There's the cosplayers, which are really incredible. They're fun to follow them around, take their picture wherever they go, and kind of be the paparazzi for them, and then kind of just follow them around and get their information and engage with them later on. But there's also just the presentation here. There's banners. Guys, these are gigantic banners, and they're not black and white banners. They're not one color banners. These are full color banners. And we're going to show them to you here in just a second, but these things are gigantic. I don't know what kind of printer they're using for this, but I can't believe that, no one's really talking about this technology that's in use. There's also the lights. The lights are, I can't describe them to you. We're going to show them to you, but they've got all different kinds. They've got spotlights. They've got LED lights, color changing. These things are remote controlled or programmed. I don't know if there's AI involved here, but I bet there is some kind of AI intelligence that's controlling a lot of these lights. I don't think a lot of other gaming outlets are going to cover that. They're going to cover the things that don't matter as much, like the esports or the the StarCraft. We're going to talk about the lights. So let's go inside and let's really take a deep dive into this. Hey guys, we are actually over here at the near the Overwatch arena here at BlizzCon, and they are actually showing off this partnership with, I think it's like a Roblox or a Mega Bloks. They've got this diva back here that's really well lit. As I keep saying, the lights here, amazing. And as you guys can see in these shots, they've got this amazing Mega Bloks or Roblox diva they've sculpted. And also, let's take a look at these banners. Again, the banners here, absolutely amazing. You see, I don't know exactly, there's people on each one. I'm not sure what this is signifying, but these are fabric banners, and it's just incredible. They're full color. I would love to see how these things get printed, but they look, I wish you guys could be here. These look way better in person than maybe they do on the stream. But, and again, the lights, the arena over here, they're doing some kind of event. I'm not sure, something to do with StarCraft, but just amazing lighting. Really top-notch stuff here. Hey everyone, we're now actually at one of my favorite places here at BlizzCon, and that is Blizzard Master Control. As you can see, this is where all of the lights in this building are controlled. As I mentioned before, a lot of this is done by AI now, artificial intelligence. There are a few people here inside, but they are mostly just there to supervise and make sure nothing goes wrong. These lights and these stages are now all kind of controlled by our artificial intelligence. That's really a little terrifying. I know, Mike, that you're very concerned about AI, but I don't think we have much to be worried about here. These robots are doing a great job on the lights. They look great. They're getting all the colors in there. So I'm really impressed. And I really wish we could get in here, but they would not let us in. We don't have the proper credentials to get in here, but maybe next year we can get an inside look at how this AI operates. Next up, I was off to one of the many stages at BlizzCon for some esports action. Oh, hi guys, I didn't see you there. I'm actually here at, one of the stages here at BlizzCon. As you guys can see, the lights here are just absolutely incredible. I'm not sure what this is, what's going on, but obviously the presentation behind it's great. Honestly, they could be playing a card game, and I don't care. I'd still find it entertaining because this is just amazing lighting effects here at BlizzCon. Top-notch presentation. One that I wish we could have at GameSocket. Unfortunately, the budget that Mike Grimm has provided it pales in comparison to this. So. Hey guys, another great presentation piece here at BlizzCon is these lifelike statues they've got kind of spread around the convention center. This one behind me, I'm not sure what game it's from, but I'm going to go look it up as soon as I get done here because this is really amazing quality. The artistry here and the attention to detail is very, as you can see, it's on point. The anatomical correctness, the hair, the clothing is just amazing. I wish I could take this thing home with me. I don't think they're going to let me do it. But maybe if they sell a smaller, statue version, I'd love to have this on my bedside table. This would be a great thing to wake up to every morning and just look over and admire the artistry on display here. So there were lots of food trucks here, and I know, Dominic, you're really big on the food trucks, but the prices for these food trucks are absolutely outrageous. We're talking $12 for a combo meal of like a burger and fries, and unfortunately with the budget that you gave me, Mike, that would spend my entire budget for the trip, my food budget for the entire trip, in one sitting. So the food trucks definitely are really cool to check out, but they are very expensive, so you're going to need a credit card or maybe a mortgage on your house to pay for that. So things are wrapping up here at BlizzCon. Overall, very successful convention this year. You guys know how I feel about the presentation here. It's just amazing. Amazing cosplayers. I wish I could take one of those home with me, but there's laws against that, so things didn't work out there. But overall, I had a lot of fun, and I'll send it back to you guys in the studio, and we'll see you here again next year. Okay. I think we're getting a call now. Krisko, do you want to plug them in? Caller, you're live on GameSocket. This is Brian. Can you state your name and where you're calling from?
Hey Brian, it's Marc Summers. How are you?
Hi, Mark. This is Brian. You're on GameSocket. How can we help you today?
Well, I was perusing the internet the other day, and I saw you and your partner in crime discussing the ins and outs of the new episodes of Double Dare, and I just wanted to say how interesting and creative I thought it was, and I always love when anybody cares about our program. So some of your comments were maybe not in the same line that I would think, but just wanted to say hi and thanks, and appreciate your help.
I'm sorry, Mark. I don't mean to cut you off, Mark. Are you saying you're the Marc Summers from Double Dare?
Yeah, Double Dare. Hosted a show called What Would You Do? Been on Food Network for many years. Yeah, same guy.
Okay, so this is. I'm a little concerned this is a prank caller, but we're going to let this go through, Krisko. Mark.
No, it's no joke, man. Hey, where's Mike?
Mike is. He's a little bit indisposed right now. He can't come to the microphone, but I know that if he was here, he would be really excited to hear that you've called in. And if you've got a minute, I have a list of questions in case this ever happened that I kind of have been building up over the years. I know there's a couple, there's a like 20 or 30, but I could probably pare this down to like maybe just a couple questions. If you've got a minute,
20 or 30, but first of all, Brian, you got to calm down, okay? I mean, I'm just a guy, and you sound a little nervous, and I don't want you to be nervous, okay?
I'm sorry, Mark. I'm just, we haven't actually, this is our first live caller that we've actually ever gotten, and it's Marc Summers, so it's like double.
I believe that, but go ahead.
So I really appreciate it, Mark. I think to start off, thank you for taking the time for the questions, but the question that's really been burning on my mind, and a lot of our viewers' mind, is the pancakes. Now, I know I talked a lot about the pancakes in our Double Dare episode, which you apparently watched, which is incredible. But, we've all been wondering, are those pancakes real? Mike thinks they're not. I think they've got to be, because I know that there's a Double Dare kitchen. There's got to be.
Sad to burst your bubble. They are not real. Everything's a prop. We use those in the show and on the tour, and then we hose them off, put them in the back of a truck. So no, unfortunately, they're not edible.
But they were real in the 80s and 90s version of the show, right? Though they're just not new in the new one.
No, Brian, they've never been real. Sorry about that.
Well, that's fine. I do just kind of a recommendation from a fan. It might be cool to actually use real pancakes in the future, but that would just be. Sometimes I go to IHOP and I ask for the Double Dare pancakes, and they look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, it's a TV. Just Google it. It's on TV. It's on YouTube. It's all over the place. Like, how could they not know?
Yeah, I don't think there's a skillet big enough to hold the pancakes the size that they are on the show. But I'll look into that. I have a lot of chef friends and see if they can help us out.
Yeah. The other question I had, we talked about it on the Double Dare episode, was the lighting is really different in the new Double Dare. I know it's 2019, 2018, and things got to be kind of dark and edgy. But my question was on the lighting was, do you know what they're using? Or I'm sure you were kind of involved in some of these discussions. Are they using a lot of more LED lights or incandescents? Or I know CFLs have been kind of banned by the government, but
you're talking shop now. The whole deal was to make it look more nighttime. We brought it back because we were airing 7:30 at night, and so as far as using the old-fashioned incandescents, no, that's kind of not what we in studios. But you know what? I'll talk to you maybe off air, and I can explain how the whole lighting thing works. But I think our listening audience and viewing audience probably doesn't care about that question. So let's move on.
Okay. So now I'm a little hesitant to bring this question up because I don't know if it's true or not. But the internet, you know how the internet is with rumors. It's crazy. But there's been one that's gaining traction about Robin. I know Robin's not in the new reboot. Obviously, she helped out a lot in the original show. But there's kind of a stigma or a rumor going around that Nickelodeon may be involved in her disappearing, maybe her getting extradited out of the country, so that she wouldn't interfere with the new reboot. And can you just talk a little bit more about that?
Stay off the web, first of all, Brian. Don't believe any of that stuff. I would have loved to have had her on the new show, but other forces decided against that. But when we tour, and we're on the road as we speak. If you go to DoubleDareLiveTour.com, you can find out what cities we go back on the road October 14th through November 3rd, and then December. She's on the road with me, and we've been doing the show in some form or fashion together for the last 32 years, and I couldn't do it without her. She's my partner in crime on stage. She is my stage manager. She runs the whole show when I'm out there performing. So no, she's alive and well.
Okay. And she's not like a clone
or
she's not like a clone or replicant or anything like that. Okay. All right.
No,
I'm glad she's on.
Didn't get. Okay. What else you got?
I'll make sure I kind of get online on the subreddits and let them know that is.
I'd appreciate that.
Not a real thing. So that's good to know. Mark, we do talk a lot about video games on this show. And I have to talk about the Double Dare video game that came out on the Nintendo way back in the day. Now this was I think it came out in the late 80s, early 90s. And I have to ask, was the transition from going in front of the camera as a host to in front of a computer terminal and coding, was that a difficult transition for you?
To this day, I couldn't code anything. In fact, I had a code, but I blew my nose and it was much better. But actually, I thought it was an odd thing. Back in the day, those Nintendo games were about $29, and ours sold for, I think it was either $59 or $69. The parents were all upset. And when you look at it, you realize now how archaic it was. And by the way, I don't think anybody could ever win it the way it was set up. But they are collector's items, and when I'm out on the road and we're doing meet and greets before the shows, I sign more boxes of that. I think it was a Game Tech Nintendo game. And do you actually own one? Do you possess one of those?
I've been looking for one, but the show's budget's real limited, and Mike won't really give me the money I need to really get these items. But if I ever come across a good garage sale one, that's definitely one I would pick up.
Yeah, man. I think they're online. You can probably find one. They're not too expensive now, but maybe I can help you out with it.
Yeah, that'd be amazing, because I know that we talk a lot about Double Dare on the show, and we should play that game at some point too. So I'm shocked that they didn't involve you more in it, but sometimes show business.
No, I didn't even think it looked like me. Do you think the guy who was the host on that thing was supposed to be me? But I didn't think it was very good. Quite honest.
the graphics were a little limited at the time, but I think it was as close as they could get. He definitely had the jacket, the sports jacket on, and I think a tie too. So, sorry, Mark. One last question.
Sure.
And again, we thank you for this time. So we last on our Double Dare special, we played the clip of the Elvis, the infamous Elvis clip.
Yep.
And I think Mike and I know that you were a big Elvis fan, and we wanted to just kind of talk about how Elvis, how that came to be, how Elvis became a big piece of your life, and how that influenced your years.
Actually, I was not a big Elvis fan. I never quite understood the whole Elvis phenomenon. It was way before my time, needless to say. But we were always doing shtick on the show, and the one thing people always said was, especially the grown-ups, was they watch every day for that one thing I would do for them, because the kids would look at it and think I was just goofy, but the parents were laughing on a whole other level. And so I could do that lip thing that Elvis did, and I think you're talking about the episode where I actually choreographed Robin and Dave dancing around like we were doing Vegas or something. And in fact, I would get hate mail from people back in the day because they were so loyal and loved Elvis so much that they would get angry with me that they thought I was making fun of them. But I wasn't. And here's a little trivial fact that you never know until I tell you right now. His opening act was a guy by the name of Jackie Kahane, who was a comic. And Jackie Kahane was my first manager in show business. And I was on the phone with Jackie when he found out that Elvis had died. So there's my 2 seconds of close to fame with Elvis. There you go.
Wow, that must have been completely devastating. Wow. Well, that's, obviously, like, maybe we had a little bit of misconception about the Elvis stuff, but I know that Mike and I love that clip, and it made us laugh when we were, 8 and 38. I guess Mike is, that's how old Mike is. I don't know how old Mike is now. So, Mark, we really thank you for the time. Really appreciate you calling into the show. Is there anything?
It wasn't easy finding this number. It was very difficult, but I have sources, and I pulled it off. And I hope you guys keep doing what you're doing. It's entertaining, amusing, and I wish you continued success. And
hopefully,
whatever it is you guys are trying to do.
Yeah, I hope hopefully it's informative too for that, because that's what we really go for, is to be informative to our viewers. And sometimes things get funny, and we don't mean to do that. But did you have anything that you wanted to plug, Mark? I know you're doing the tour this fall.
Yeah, we're doing the tour, as I said, DoubleDareLiveTour.com. I have a new series coming on Discovery Channel. It's a nature series called Unknown, starring Ian Shive. Ian is a talent that I discovered who is a gentleman who works with the National Park Service. So our first episodes are going to be nature in Alaska, islands that the U.S. owns that nobody can go to, but we have access to. So taking my career in a whole other direction. Bunch of other stuff going on, but unfortunately I have to run. But hey, thank you so much for allowing me to talk to you guys this long, and continued success.
Thank you, Mark. We really appreciate it. And if Mike was here, I'm sure he'd thank you too. And good luck on.
Yeah, thank you, Brian, for your great interview. And tell Mike, I really wish you would have been part of this, because I'm a big fan, and I wish I had a chance to speak with him.
Yeah, I'll definitely roll back the clip to him. I'm sure he'll love it. So, good luck to you, Mark. Thanks for calling in, and good luck on the tour and the new show. And we'll talk to you, next time.
Probably never.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye-bye.
Wow. So there you guys have it. Marc Summers. I can't believe it. I really don't know what to say after that. Can't believe that happened. I wish Mike was here to have seen it, but you know the story there, guys. All right, moving along the show today. Up next, I think we have Dominic's segment. Dominic, what do you got to Cheez-Its for?
I'm a little bit worried about Mike. I think we need to feed him something.
No, he's okay, Dominic. He can't eat. He's asleep. He's completely passed out.
Just need to feed him something.
No, he's gonna choke on that if you give it to him. Dominic.
Mike, eat some of the
Krisko,
cheese
can
snacks.
you?
Mike.
Dom.
Mike.
Dominic, he's got. Dominic. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Get it all out, Mike.
Okay. Dominic. Oh god. Okay. This is. He's going back. Mike, are you awake? Mike. Okay, that's Max. He's back. He's passed out again. Okay. Dominic, here. Take this. And go.
Maybe give him these later.
No. Just get that out of here.
I'll just leave him here.
I'll deal
Just
with
feed
this.
it to him
Okay.
later.
Oh my god. Okay, go do your segment, and I'll deal with all of this. Okay, Dom. Thank you. Here, the microphone too. All right. All right, guys. Here's Dom's segment. Here we go.
Welcome to Dom's Life or Death Mystery Box Mailbox Challenge. This is where I go through Mike's packages to make sure that no one's sending him anything that would kill him when he opened it. Today's box comes from Play Asia. Looks like Mike ordered Mega Drive Tower Mini CD, a mini Sega Genesis.
Oh yeah, Dominic. That's yeah. He ordered the Sega Genesis Mini. He wanted us to. I think he was gonna review it today, but I guess we can, or you can.
Krisko, can we go to the opening station? All right, let's open it up and take a look. Looks pretty cool. If you're ever doing an unboxing, try and have at least two hands, because it's pretty hard to do it with one. It came with a game. It says from the most famous hedgehog, Sonny the Hedgish.
Sonic.
This says Sonny.
Might be the different version.
It also came with this thing. I think it's a battery case or something. All right, this says Super 32 times Sega, or 32X Sega.
Are you sure you have all the pieces there? Looks like it's missing.
This is a Mega CD. I think this is one of those radios where you might install it in your car. Brian, do you know how this works?
No, let me come over there and help you, because I think we're missing a piece or something here. Well, let's take a look. Is this everything? Because it looks like.
Yeah, this was everything that was in there.
No. I think these are just like the little cosmetic attachments for it. I don't.
While Brian is figuring that out, I'm gonna go over and review the box. The box is pretty cool. They use what looks like that gridded paper you could get in a notebook. Also, they put tons of little squigglies on there, like little art designs, if you could kind of see.
No, Dominic, that's.
I think it's part of the art style of the Sony games.
No, that's Japanese. That's Japanese. It's a different language, Dominic.
And then the box also has a lot more of the squiggles.
Yeah, so we're missing that. This actually does not have the Sega Genesis Mini in it. Krisko, was there another package? No? Oh yeah, Mike just ordered just these. He didn't actually order the system itself, so you can't.
Well, it's still pretty successful unboxing. Mike's still alive, so make it to another day.
All right, Dom. Thank you. I appreciate the hard work you put in and changing up your segments here. So we'll I guess maybe if we can get a hold of an actual Genesis Mini, we can there's flies in here. We'll maybe try to review that too. All right, let's go to our next segment, which is Socket List. All right, Socket List. Thank you, Krisko, for actually playing the right bumper, right graphic this time. You know, it's the first time for everything, I guess. Oh, where's he going? Krisko? Okay, so Krisko just walked off. Just walked out. I don't know where he went. You guys, I apologize. So this is Socket List. This is where we count down the top 5 or 4 sometimes items, worst to best. This week's he just left, Dominic. I think he just walked out. Okay. Let's just switch things up here. Dom, do you want to come over here and we'll let you do this segment, and I guess I'll take over producing role since Krisko has just walked off camera or walked out of the set. I don't know where he went. Yeah. So Dom, this is, I guess, your first shot, first chance here in the big chair. You want to have a seat there, and I will. I'll get things produced on this side, the camera for you. Yeah, Socket List. If you just want to read off there.
This is the Socket List segment, so we're gonna go over 5 items really quickly. This one is favorite 5 mini systems, starting with Street Fighter arcade cabinet, NES Classic, Sony.
Hang on. I don't think that one. Did you just add that one on there? Arcade game? There's not an arcade game on there. You don't have to come up with your own. You can just read the list, Dominic. But you know, kind of give us a little bit more, like a little bit more pizzazz, right?
This is the Game Socket 5 item list with 5 items that is our favorite of the 5s. Starting with Street Fighter arcade cabinet is the 5th one. And then number 4 is NES Classic. Then Sony Mini Classic. Then the Super Nintendo Mini Classic. And then taking the number 1 spot is my personal favorite. You just seen it in our last segment. It's the Super 32X.
Okay, Dominic. So that's not actually a system. That's just like a thing you can plug into the little mini one. It doesn't do anything. So is that really? I mean, if you want it to be our favorite, that can be our favorite. But
yeah, I think Game Socket endorses this as our favorite mini system classic.
Okay. All right, Dominic, great job. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take back over here. We're almost done. Great audition. I appreciate you having the flexibility to. Oh, okay.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having the flexibility there to jump in and here you might take the 32X Mini, which is actually just a cosmetic item, you guys, that plugs into the top of the Genesis Mini. It doesn't have any like real functionality, but it looks really cool, and that's probably why Dominic picked it as the number 1 rather than what I wrote here. That's about all the time we have for today, guys. Before we wrap up, just a couple quick things. Like I said, Mike's intervention is coming up, and I've set up a email inbox where you guys can send your messages about Mike and helping us help him change. So send your messages about how much you don't want this happening on the show to the email on your screen now. It's intervention@gamesocket.website. That's intervention@gamesocket.website. Send us your messages. We'll give them to Mike during the intervention, and hopefully that will help us make a positive change in his life. One last thing, guys. Game Socks. We've made a sort of a breakthrough in Game Socks. We have the first prototype here as you guys can see, is out, and we're going to be selling on the Etsy store soon. Check out the website on your screen now for the Etsy store. Game Socks, please check them out. This one is the Sonic one. Mike is, I think, finally coming out of it here. Mike, we're wrapping up the episode. Any last minute thoughts or opinions you've got on today's episode? Okay. All right, guys. I think that's where we're going to leave it. Thanks for watching. Again, apologies for the few technical issues we had in this episode. But thanks for watching, and just remember to please keep it plugged in, like, subscribe, and all that stuff too. Thanks, guys.
Dominic. Who's Dominic?
How you doing, Mike? How you feeling?
What the fuck are you doing here?
We're filming an episode. What are you doing? Not hosting
An episode?
Episode of Game Socket. Yeah. All right. I'm out. Dominic.
This, you guys, man. Had Dominic, you shouldn't, you had a chef socket. And I think you killed me. Dominic! You killed me! You killed me! You drowned me in cumin! Brian, fuck you! What the fuck is going on?
I forgot my laptop.
I went to the future!
Yeah. See you next week, Mike.
Fuck you, Brian! Get your cup off my fucking table! You know what? Fuck you, Brian!